Hi, this is Sharon with the Human Frequency. I'd like to talk a little about the song Bohemian Rhapsody today. The film Bohemian Rhapsody about Freddie Mercury and the band Queen just came out yesterday, and this film's been getting a lot of publicity. Queen is a very popular band, still is to this day, and Bohemian Rhapsody is a very well-known song and a part of popular culture. It's got strange cryptic lyrics, and nobody really knows what it means. In fact, Freddie Mercury, who wrote the song, suggests that we just interpret it our own way. So he never actually said exactly what it's about. There are a lot of interpretations of it you can read online, but none are quite like mine. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what was going on with the lyrics, what was Freddie Mercury trying to convey. So first off, just a little about Freddie Mercury. He was born Farrokh Bulsara in Stone Town in Zanzibar, which is now Tanzania, and moved to England with his family in his late teens. He lived from 1946 to 1991 when he died of AIDS, and in 1991, around then, is actually when I became interested in the band Queen. Just a little before his death, I became a fan of the band and really enjoyed their music. This isn't really music I listen to nowadays. It's music from my teen years, but it was a part of my life, and I know the song by heart because of this, because I heard it so many times. So the other day, after hearing so much about this song, I thought about those lyrics, and I realized there's something going on with this esoteric meaning. So I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people online say this is about a trial. And if you want to read that interpretation, you can probably just look that up and see what people say about it being a trial. But I'm going to discuss it in a slightly different way, because I think this song is actually about MK Ultra mind control. Everybody in Hollywood, in order to get to where they are, or in the music industry, has to undergo serious programming. I actually think a lot of the people in the entertainment industry may not even be human, but I'm going to go on the assumption that Freddie Mercury is a human being, and there is warmth to him, and there is a soul in there. So I'm going on that assumption. He's a talented musician. The music of the song is actually well written. I think it's a little over the top. It's cheesy, but the musicianship is excellent, and he really put his all into this song. So I'm going to go with that he's a human being and he's trying to express some ideas. So I'd like to just get right into the lyrics. At the beginning of the song, in the music video, you see their four faces. I'm going to talk about the video a little with it, even though it's a pretty simplistic music video because the song came out in 1975. At the beginning, you see the four faces of the band, and they're singing. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. So at the very beginning, they're already he's asking, is this real? Is this really happening? And when mind control programming is going on, people do go into fantasy worlds and disassociate. So he may be having it may be overwhelming to his senses at this point. He's just beginning his indoctrination into the music industry, not really what he expected. Nobody expects this. So he is already saying this seems like a fantasy, and he doesn't know what's real anymore. Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. To me, that says that things are happening to him that he can't control. It's like a landslide. It's all just coming down upon him, and no escape from reality. Well, he can't escape this. He's stuck with what's going on. Now, when he says, open your eyes, look up to the skies and see, I'm just a poor boy. I need no sympathy because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me. At this point in the song, he is saying that he is blown about by the wind. He has no say in it. He doesn't care either way. Whatever happens, doesn't matter. Easy come, easy go, whatever happens. And saying that he's a poor boy, this may allude to his childhood. He was born in Zanzibar. He is of Parsi or Persian descent, and he lived there until his teens. So he may have grown up in poverty, and so he's just kind of giving a little bit of background, and he got sucked into this industry. So his life is completely changing now, but he has no control. At this point in the video, they cut to live footage of the band playing on stage. So this is where he has now arrived, having gone through the indoctrination and whatever kind of programming needs to be done for someone to become a rock star. Now he's playing the piano on stage with his band. He says, "Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead." So here, people sometimes interpret this as that he just killed a man. I'm going to interpret it that he's saying Mama just killed a man. Now, Mama could be a parent figure because it's Mama. It could be his handler. It could be one and the same. But this is whoever created him through the mind control programming, which is a handler, somebody that does the trauma-based abuse mind control programming. That's MK Ultra. So Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled my trigger, now he's dead. The man that was killed is the man that Freddie Mercury was before he became the rock star Freddie Mercury. So the gun was put against his head. He said, pulled my trigger. That's very important. He didn't say pull the trigger. He said, pulled my trigger. Now he's dead. They use triggers in mind control programming. They create traumas that they can work off of, and then they work with those triggers to control their slaves. Now the man that he started as is dead, and he is now Freddie Mercury. He says, "Mama, life had just begun, but now I've gone and thrown it all away." And this also is interpreted sometimes in the trial version of the song that he killed a man and now he's thrown it all away. So if you want to see that interpretation, there's plenty of people talking about that online, but I'm going to talk about what I think here. So he has thrown it all away. His life had just begun. He was a young man when he joined this band and when this all began for him. And he has thrown it all away by giving himself over to this industry. Because remember, he's easy come, easy go, whatever happens, but he gave himself away to it. "Mama didn't mean to make you cry. If I'm not back again this time tomorrow, carry on as if nothing really matters." He's saying that he may not be back tomorrow because he has already lost himself, who he originally was. And interestingly, when he says, "Mama didn't mean to make you cry," that's an interesting one for me because I've also been gaslighted by people in my life, and it's not a pleasant feeling. And they'll always put the blame on you. They'll always change things up, like they'll do something terrible, and then they'll put the blame on the victim. So he's now feeling like he did something wrong here, and if he's not back again, don't worry about it because nothing really matters. He's not coming back. In the next verse, he says, "Too late, my time has come. Sends shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time." To me, this is a clear indication of the mind control programming, the torture he's going through. It's too late. He's already in it. You can't get out once you're in. Sends shivers down my spine, body's aching all the time. They torture these people. They use all kinds of terrible abuse, sexual abuse, electroshock to the genitals and things under the fingernails, like things you can't even imagine, just horrible traumas. So his body's aching all the time. I mean, these people get beat up all the time. If they act out, they get beaten up. So that's what he's referring to here. "Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Got to leave you all behind and face the truth." So he's gone. He keeps saying this over and over again, that he's leaving. He talks about him being killed, not coming back tomorrow. He's gone. When he says, "Got to leave you all behind and face the truth," what's happened is he's turned away from God and he's turned to face Satan in order to be in the industry. So in his case, the truth is actually a lie, but that is the truth for people who worship Satan. They have turned to face him. So he's turning to face the truth, but for him, it's evil. And he says, "Mama, I don't want to die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all." That's pretty clear to me as well. He didn't want to lose himself. And now he's gotten into this situation, and it's so much torture that he wishes that he'd never been born at all. It's just that bad. So this is where it goes back to the images of the band Queen, the different faces off of the live stage. So I call this the dream sequence. When he's on stage, that's him being Freddie Mercury in public in front of people. When it goes into the scene where you see just the faces of the band on the black background, to me, that's the mental state, the internal state of Freddie Mercury. And it's like a dreamlike, altered state of reality, because this is where they're creating him and programming him, breaking him down. So they say, I see a little silhouetto of a man. Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? Now, Scaramouche, I had to look this one up. Scaramouche is a stock clown character in comic theatrical arts of Italian literature. And he has the characteristics of a servant and a masked henchman. This is interesting because it's a mask. So he's saying, Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the fandango? This is his programmers, his handlers, giving him the role of Scaramouche, which is a clown, a performer. And they're saying, dance, clown, do the fandango. And this clown actually was a character that was abused. He was beaten by Harlequin. And a Harlequin is named after a devil, which is a character in the medieval passion plays. I just got this off of Wikipedia. You can just look up Harlequin, Scaramouche, and read about it. So Scaramouche is the servant. He's a masked servant. So they are creating him and they're saying, okay, you're Scaramouche, dance for me. Then he says, all the voices of Queen and multiple images of the band suddenly appear. It goes into from 4 faces to many faces. Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. That's electroshock therapy. So they're telling him, dance, clown, and if you don't do it, you know what you're going to get. So thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, this is where they go, Galileo, 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 Galileo Figaro. That's 2 more characters added to the scene. When you are tortured in this way, you will disassociate and you'll invent multiple personalities. That's why Britney Spears, when she was interviewed once, broke into a British accent for no reason. You know, these celebrities often have other personalities within them, partially because of the mind control, partially because a lot of them were changed over. They were transgendered, possibly at a very young age. So they still have this memory inside their DNA and their bodies and their minds of who they once were. Like Prince, he had a little girl in him. Well, that's because he is a female, and it's very obvious Prince was a female. Freddie Mercury, I'm not sure. Very likely also the same kind of scenario, transgendered. This video is not about that. I'm sure there's plenty of people who have looked into that. I'm actually just covering the lyrics today. But a lot of famous people have gone through that, like Nicki Minaj saying there's a little boy named Roman that lives inside her, and she also was changed over. So you never know. But that's what I'm seeing here. So Galileo, Figaro. These are 2 more characters. In the cast of characters, it's now growing as they break down Farrokh Bulsara and create Freddie Mercury. Magnifico. And when he says Magnifico, the face appears as many faces going into the background. To me, that indicates multiple personalities developing. Then he goes back to, I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. And then the chorus sings, he's just a poor boy from a poor family, bringing it back to who he was, Farrokh Bulsara from Zanzibar. And this is who he was, but now all this terrible stuff is happening to him. So they say, spare him his life from this monstrosity. That couldn't be more obvious to me. He is going to go through hell like you couldn't believe. So he says, oh, easy come, easy go, will you let me go? And then they yell at him, Bismillah, no, we will not let you go. Bismillah means in the name of Allah, and it is the first word in the Quran. I feel that when they use this word to tell him no, in the name of God, in the name of Allah, we won't let you go, they are mocking his religious faith. See, he is of Persian descent and of Zoroastrian descent. So I feel that by using this word of the Quran and saying that in the name of Allah they won't let him go, they're using God's name to do evil, which of course is blasphemous. So the chorus sings, let him go, and they say, Bismillah, we will not let you go. Then he says, let me go, will not let you go, they say. He asks again, let me go. And they say, No, 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 no. He is absolutely trapped and outnumbered. And he's got all these multiple personalities developing. He doesn't even know who he is anymore. So he says, "Oh, mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me." Because he's being programmed, he's being tortured, he has joined the dark side, and Satan is going to torture him. There's a handler, a devil, put aside for him. That's Harlequin. That's his handler, who was put aside for him to beat him and to force him to do what they say and keep his mouth shut, too, by the way, because they can't reveal any of this stuff. So then it goes back to the live footage, and there's the music really picks up then because it's out of that opera. That's a mock opera part of the song. And then it goes back into the rocking. And here's where he begins to rebel. He says, "So you think you can stone me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die?" He's acting out against his handler. He is saying, "You think you can torture me? Well, look at me. I'm on stage." Interestingly, here it is again, Scaramouche. He is Scaramouche. Scaramouche was beaten by Harlequin for boasting and cowardice. So he's afraid, but at the same time, he's becoming boastful. He's acting out on stage. He's saying, "Look at me. Look where I am." Well, remember how you got there, because you're going to get your ass kicked again. So he says, "So you think you can love me and leave me to die?" This is where I think he's describing that this handler gained his trust and then left him to die, destroyed him. And he says, "Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just got to get out. Just got to get right out of here." Well, again, he's trying to escape. So we have this theme over and over and over again. He's trying to escape. So he acted out against the handler. That's how he got on the stage in the first place. And you know that once he gets off that stage, he's going to get what he deserves for his boasting. And there's a big guitar solo, and then the music kind of smooths out at this point, and this leads to the end of the song, and the music is calm at the end, and he says, "Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters to me. Any way the wind blows." So this is where he's resigned to it. He's been beaten into submission by his handler, Harlequin. He is resigned to it. He is Scaramouche. That's how they form these people. That's how they create the stars in Hollywood. That's how they create the musicians that everybody's watching. I don't even know if I can call them musicians, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Queen were real musicians. They were really talented, unlike what's going on today. They don't even have to try anymore. That's what's so sad. But this is how they create celebrities, or at least that's the theory going around right now, because there's another chance that they're not human at all. And I tend to think that they are some kind of life form. I don't think it's necessarily like on They Live, where they're all just artificial intelligence, that has a human mask. I think that quite a few of them actually are organic life, even if they were cloned in laboratories and transgendered at young ages. So they do need to be controlled. They do need to be programmed in order to put out the message that the Illuminati wants put out, and not to give any back talk. And in this case, the music of Queen is pretty innocuous compared to what's going on today. What's going on today is just very overtly satanic. But they always have given clues. They've always given hints. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I think Freddie Mercury was giving a cry for help with this song. I think that he was describing the horrible torture he went through. And I know that this movie is going to get a lot of popularity and a lot of attention. I don't think anyone who watches it is really going to pay attention to this aspect, but I just wanted to put it out there so that if you go and watch the movie, which I haven't seen yet, but it came out yesterday, I'm not sure if I'm going to see it or not, because the history that Hollywood presents is usually pretty false. But just keep in mind that they present a certain view of how people become famous, which isn't really how it is. Having been in the music industry, I know you don't get anywhere unless you're one of them and you give your soul over to Satan. So with that in mind, thank you for listening to my interpretation of Bohemian Rhapsody. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're mad at me, you can go ahead and dislike the video that I just made. But if you like it, let me know that too. I've disabled comments, but I do want this opportunity to just put this information out there and thank people for listening. And have a great evening. If you're going to see Bohemian Rhapsody, have fun, and remember what I said about those lyrics and see what you think after you think about it and listen to the song again. All right, please check out our website, thechemo.com, if you want to learn more about our work, and we will be back with another episode of the show very soon.